thought any more about what we talked about last week or the week before? We were talking about if you had a 9-year-old granddaughter, you would still force the child to have a child.
I'm not forcing anybody. I would give them the choice and alternatives. Yeah.
You would give them the choice of whether to have an abortion or not?
I would try to talk them out. I would take the baby.
But do you think it would be healthy for a 9-year-old child to try to go through a pregnancy and a birth? You think it would be healthy for them?
I would definitely have them do doctor care.
Do you understand what would happen to a child's body when forced to go through a pregnancy and a birth?
You don't care about people.
Do you understand what would happen to a child's body if forced to go through pregnancy and birth? Do you seriously understand
Is
that?
that why you're defending abortion?
Do you understand that, Anne? That's the question.
Yes.
You understand that that would destroy that child's body and probably their
It
life?
would not destroy that child's body. If she's able to have menstrual periods at 9 years old, then her body is prepared.
So just because someone has a period, it means they can have a baby.
Just because a young girl has had her period does not mean she is ready mentally or physically to conceive a child. In no way, shape, or form should a child be forced to conceive another child for any fucking reason. In case the common sense, mental, and physical torture that child would undergo isn't enough for you, here are the facts. This midwife and senior nursing officer at this reproductive and health clinic, she said that their bodies are not ready for childbirth and it's really traumatic. They say that the critical issue is that the pelvis of a child is too small to allow for the passage of a fetus. Now, this doctor has worked with pregnant adolescent girls for more than 40 years in low-income communities in India, where we see this the most wildly because of SA. They have long labors, obstructed labors, that are very, very painful for the child. Right here, the doctor says that their labor can last as long as 3, 4, even 5 days. After that labor, usually the baby is dead. Because of how small the area is that the baby has to pass through, since this is a child, baby's skull is literally crushed in some cases. Now, being in labor for up to 5 days or a week at a time has a lot of negative side effects to it. All of the pressure from the fetus bearing down on the bladder and the urethra, it can cause pelvic inflammatory disease. It can also rupture the tissue between the vagina and the bladder and the rectum. This will cause the young girl to potentially constantly leak urine and feces. There are treatments, but it is a long recovery. Imagine the fucking trauma for a child to go through that. For children under 15 that get pregnant and have to conceive, the mortality rate is much higher, more than twice as high. Their little bodies aren't ready. Some kids in my class got their periods at 7. That's first grade, guys. First fucking grade. In certain states right now, that child would have to deliver a 7-year-old in America. Not having a choice? Oh, but this is America, the land of the free, right? If you don't have a fucking uterus.